Hello, my name is Julia, and I wanted to talk about something I need my sunglasses because the sun is shining. Well, I want to talk about something where the sun doesn't shine. And I wanted to talk about life-ending thoughts today and how I silenced mine. Because honestly, it's the hardest thing I've ever dealt with, and it's one of the most, well, thank God I'm wearing my sunglasses because I'm gonna tear up. But it's one of the most wounding things to your inner child to, contemplate suicide. And it truly needs a lot of healing around it, but also a lot of conversations that aren't being had because a lot of life-ending thoughts happen in silence. People don't talk about them until it's too late. So I wanted to give you a little story time about mine without delving too deep into my depression. And then I wanted to basically give you the tools to be able to help silence. Sorry, I had a notification come up. Help silence your thoughts. So for me, my life-ending thoughts started during a psychosis around when I was 25. I'm now 28, so 4 years ago. It was about a year of seeing dark energy, feeling the most intense fear, and then after maybe 8 months of it, I just started having the thought, trigger warning, I want to kill myself. And it was an escape. It was the only possible escape that I felt in that moment would help me, since I didn't realize that medication was also an option. Anyways, so I started having a lot of life-ending thoughts, and I was put on medicine for the psychosis, antipsychotics, and then I had a deep depression. I kept having these thoughts. When I went on antidepressants, they got a lot worse at the beginning. Anyways, I don't want to give you too much detail. That's for another story. But basically, even after I was fully medicated, fully okay, depression gone, psychosis gone, I still had and suffered with many intrusive, life-ending thoughts. Not so much when I actually wanted to do it, because I had that, but that passed. It was more just whenever I got sad, they would come into my mind, and it was tough. It was harder than just the feeling of sadness by itself. So I basically worked hard through consciousness, and after 2 years later, the thoughts are now completely gone. They are completely gone. I haven't really had suicidal thoughts, life-ending thoughts, in a year, since last summer. And I wanted to tell you how I healed that. So I think there are two things that I'm going to talk about. The first is very important. It's to stop thinking. So I want you to completely ignore your thoughts. I want you to become conscious of your breathing. Watch your thoughts arise and let them pass, and do not act on your thoughts. This will keep you alive, like just point blank. However, it also has the other beautiful effect of weakening the mind. The less that you feed, you give energy to those thoughts, the more the mind will slowly die, for, without saying such a nice word, die. Yeah. Basically, what you want to do is you want to focus on your breath, especially when you're feeling sad, especially when you're having life-ending thoughts. And you want to really just let those thoughts pass by. You want to not act, you want to ignore the thoughts. The more that you do that, I promise you, the less frequently they will come up. However, for me, this was not, in a way, this helped me get rid of them completely. But actually what really happened to help me get rid of the life-ending thoughts was I managed to, still through consciousness, so it's linked, but get to the core wound of the thoughts, and I managed to heal that wound. So basically, let me tell you what happened. Last summer, I was a bit sad. I was having some suicidal thoughts, some life-ending thoughts, and I felt it really triggered me. It really triggered my inner child, like, oh no, this again? We are gonna do this? It was really, really scary to my inner child. And I felt this wound of wanting to kill myself open up inside of me. And it was just this feeling of raw, open wound energy. And for 3 days, I felt low level, not super intense, but a lot, but medium, I would say medium, grief. I felt grief for 3 days, nonstop, and I felt this incredible open wound energy is the only way I can describe it. I, doing what I do best, consciousness, decided to lean into the emotion, focus on my breath, don't run away from it, because I had the sense that this is important. You are healing something here, Julia. So I focused on my breath, I ignored my mind, and for those 3 days, I was super highly present. And you know what? In those 3 days, I healed that core wound just by being present. I promise you, presence, consciousness is extremely underrated. Consciousness heals all. Consciousness heals all. I'm going to say it again for the people in the back. Consciousness heals all. The higher. Anyways, basically, after those 3 days, I went about with my life. But you know what happened? The life-ending thoughts stopped completely. Now, I'm not saying, obviously, when you try and not think about something, it comes into your mind. So I've had the thought, I want to kill myself, but it's been once every 2 weeks, you know, it's just something so light and breezing and passing by. It's not like it used to be. So yeah, that's probably never going to fully go away. That one thought, whenever you don't want to think about it, will probably come, but that's very different to, you know, an inundation of thoughts whenever you feel sad. That's, you know, it's not acceptable. I don't want to live that way. And here I'm going to tell you the way to silence your mind and silence those thoughts is through consciousness. So basically, consciousness is just being present, focusing on your breathing, and letting whatever needs to come up to the surface. So those thoughts might need to come up. You know, healing happens through presence. And obviously, you can also engage your heart and feel self-love, and that will amplify the healing. So that's also another little good method. And also just try and have compassion for yourself and those thoughts. In a weird, messed up way, those thoughts are trying to protect you from whatever horrors are happening here on this earth. So let's try and have some compassion for the thoughts and give them love, but do not engage with them. And also, I just need to say this, if you really are contemplating suicide, if your life-ending thoughts are getting too much, call someone, hospitalize yourself. I did that. Hospitalize yourself is the best thing you can do, because then you know you are safe. You will be fine. You'll be hospitalized until further notice. And then once you're out of the hospital, you'll be in a better state to keep on living. And I promise you that one day, I made my hair, but I don't really know what's going on here. I promise you that one day you are going, makes me emotional, but you are going to want to be alive one day. And that might not be today, might not be tomorrow, it might not be in a month's time. But I promise you that one day you are going to want to be alive because your life is going to get better. And I'm here offering you the shortcut to getting there, which is through consciousness. So focusing on your breathing, observing your thoughts, and not engaging with your thoughts. I have so much compassion. If you have life-ending thoughts, it's not fun. It's not easy. And it's not nice. But I promise you it is possible for them to silence. It happened to me. So good luck. I'm sending you a lot of love. Let me know in the comments how you're doing. And remember, please call someone. Please hospitalize yourself. Life is worth living. It's a crazy, fucked up planet that we live in. And it's easy to only see the dark, especially if you're feeling depression or if you have psychosis or, you're feeling anxiety, you're feeling pressure, overwhelm. I just want you to know that there is beauty still in the world and that love trumps all. And that all you have to do to activate love in your heart is simply tap the fuck out of your heart, focus on your heart, and strain that muscle. Is the heart a muscle? I don't even know. But strain it and get some love out there. You can simply turn it on like this, and that will make your reality just 10% better. That doesn't sound so good. Maybe more than 10%, but it's still, if you're really at the bottom, 10% is a good number. So, just to end this video, I want us to do a few conscious breaths so that we can get into this consciousness. Hope I didn't have a booger in my nose this whole time. So that we can kickstart this level of consciousness that's going to, heal you from the inside out and make your mind a beautiful flower garden where it used to be only weeds. So I want you to just close your eyes if you feel comfortable. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Deep breath in and out. And now I'm going to sound this gong while you keep focusing on your breathing. Maybe we could do a little together. I'm not very good at this gong, so we'll see how it goes. Beautiful, but there's a hair attached. Good. Now one more gong, 2 more. Deep inhale. And exhale. Beautiful. Now, I'm just gonna send you one final prayer. I've been to the bottom, and I know it's hard, but the only way is up from there. Sending you so much love, peace, and blessings. I hope your life gets better. Peace.